It's the Poojie Podcast, proudly sponsored by Cimarron Golf Club. What is going on, Pooj crew? Thank you for checking into this interview on the Poojie Podcast. Extremely excited to be here conducting some interviews. For those that have been with us since day one back in 2020, you know this show started with interviews, talking to everyone in the sports world, got into some live action content with sports returning late 2020, doing football, college football, and much more. But as a part of our 90407 initiative, trying to commit to more Jaguar talk and UCF talk as well. Trying to get as many UCF people on here as possible to bring you guys some good UCF football content with the season just around the corner. And you may remember some of my interviews in the past with Nate Evans out of UCF, currently with the Seahawks, Jordan Johnson, offensive lineman, Otis Anderson, another great interview we had on here. And today I am happy to welcome on Divaad Newt Wilson to the show, defensive back out of UCF. Divaad, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you taking some time out to do this. I know things have got to be busy for you right now over there at UCF.
Yes, sir. I don't have too long, but, I told you I was going to step in. Anything for a fellow Knight.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, appreciate it. I won't keep you too long or anything. Just got to ask you some questions about the team, of course, but I got to start with this. So I went to the UCF Temple game last year, not a full stadium, anything like that, but I was actually sitting behind some of your family, and I knew that because on the back it said Newt Wilson. It had Wilson. I was like, this is pretty cool. This is, Newt's family. I got to ask you, where does that name come from? Where does Newt come from, man?
Well, for those who don't know, my mom, her name's Shauna Black, and she had me. I was a premature, so you know how when you're born, you get out the incubators and everything for like after 2 weeks. I was born in January 26th, but I was supposed to be born in like early April.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was real small, so my mom used to she had to stay in the hospital for more longer than the others. So her nurse, she used to always call me her little punchka noodle or like her little noodle. And then her nurse told her like one day, like, don't you think he's gonna grow up? Like, don't you think he's gonna grow out that name? Like, he's gonna get too old one day. And she just was like, I don't know. She said, then she told me she was like, she just played with it, and then she just came up with Newt.
I like it.
And that shouldn't nobody forget it.
That's pretty funny because this name, the Poojie Podcast, when I was born, my mom actually called me Pooj and Poojie. And then as I grew up, friends from my Yahoo username and Instagram name just started calling me Poojie more and more. And now that's kind of what a lot of people know me as far as my nickname goes. So something funny to relate to there. But that's a great story and awesome to see how far you've come from those days. And now what are you, 6'1", 200, 6'2"? What are you standing at?
I'm 6 feet, like 196.
6 feet, 196. So that's some good size there for the defensive back room at UCF. And coming out of South Florida from high school, you ended up committing to Georgia, and then you ended up transferring over to UCF. Got to play in 4 or 5 games last year. You actually had your first collegiate interception, if I'm not mistaken, against Notre Dame while you were at Georgia. So that's a pretty cool opportunity for you there. But you come to UCF. What kind of went into that decision, getting to UCF, maybe getting a little bit closer to home, coming down to Orlando from Athens?
Okay, no, we got. My apologies.
No, you're good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So you came out of South Florida again, and you went up to Georgia. You started your career at Georgia, 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and then you transferred to UCF. What was it about UCF in the Orlando, Florida area that kind of drew you into to moving down to UCF and into the Orlando area?
I can't necessarily say it was UCF itself because I didn't never really know as much history as I did. But I would have to say like just the coaching staff that was previously here was the prime reason why. Like Coach Randy Shannon, so that was the prime reason why I came down here to feel fit. And then once I got here, there ain't no turning back. So now I'm all in.
I like it. And so with that being said, how are things going right now with current camp? I know you were just telling me before we started recording that you guys are working throughout the weeks, 3, 4, 5 days a week, just kind of getting ready for the season. How are things going at camp? how's the team looking? How's the defensive back room looking?
I think it's going great. We got room for improvement, but things are going very well. We're moving fast, physical. Everybody's flying to the ball. That's our motto: all 11 to the ball.
I like it. And I was actually watching a previous UCF game from a few years ago, the Fiesta Bowl a few years ago, and there was a stat that said UCF had actually forced turnovers in 36 straight games. At the time, it was an NCAA record or a streak, the longest streak in the country. And that's kind of something that UCF has become known for, not only having a fast, explosive offense, but having a defense that flies to the ball and gets stuff done on the defensive side to help out where they can. So I love to hear that. You played last year in a few games, not a full house. What have you heard from maybe some of the people on the team about the atmosphere at UCF when there is a full crowd like we'll be having coming up here in September?
Well, actually, I done heard quite a few stories. The most interesting story that I've heard so far is the home game. I heard the stadium like locker doors really be like rocking like so you feel me? I never experienced being in a locker room where the doors you walk out of to go on the field, the doors are shaking. Like I never experienced such a thing. So Night Nation, that's what I'm looking forward to. So and COVID etiquette, they letting it full capacity. Let's go.
It'll be a full go, man. And I'll tell you this, student there from 2013 to 2017, I sat through some grueling games during a defeated season, and then I sat through some great games of an undefeated season. And to watch the transformation of the fan base, to watch everyone rally behind the team under the previous regimes, I mean, that place is electric. And people outside of UCF and outside of Orlando, I don't think quite understand it. They look at the size of the stadium and say, how could it be? They look at, the architecture of the stadium, the youthfulness of the football team. But I think it really does come down to this team is just energetic, and that translates to the fans as well. And I think the composure of the team, the players on the team, that electricity really does go into the stands for these fans, because that college game day against Cincinnati a few years ago, dude, that place, I thought it was going to crumble because it was insane. Like, it was bouncing. It was crazy. I mean, it's literally the bounce house, right? It's just insane. So Boise State coming up. I cannot wait for it. As a player, how excited are you to get back to football with a full crowd?
I don't show much excitement, but I'm very much excited for September 2nd, just off the fact that it's been a long off season, been sitting back, watching other sports play and compete, do the usual. So now it's back to the basics for me. Like, we back to football season. It's time to get to the grind, make plays. That's all I really know, you feel me? Nothing more,
I like
nothing
it.
less.
And you guys have a lot of other transfers.
And be a great team player.
What's up? You guys have a lot
be a great team player.
Oh yeah, no, of course that's what it takes, man. And you guys have a lot of other transfers coming in, obviously under Coach Gus Malzahn's first year here. So it's going to be really exciting to see a lot of experienced players, including yourself, be able to take the field under a new regime here at UCF. I'm definitely looking forward to it myself. I have to ask you from your stance, UCF. There's this divide in college football from, these other conferences to the American Conference. Show some love to the American Conference, right? Like, it's got some quality teams. It's got some quality talent. Am I right?
Trust me. UCF is one of them.
We're looking forward to the Cincinnati game. There's about 12 of us going up to the Cincinnati game. I was there 2 years ago. We'll be traveling up there. We'll be front row, second row, right behind the bench, getting wild. Nipper at night up there in Cincinnati is going to be a fun one. Definitely one that's circled for us fans. Now, as far as UCF and Cincinnati goes, is it fun to kind of have that competitive rivalry with such another good program within the conference?
Well, I guess you can say, I haven't been here for much long, so I don't know really a whole lot much of the rival itself. So I mean, I really know how to really know what to tell you about that.
I got you. No, that makes sense. Kind of from the way I see things, obviously, better programs kind of elevate the conference and elevate the play, and I think that's what's going to happen with UCF. You got Memphis out there. SMU's looking to have a good year. Obviously, Houston as well, and then, of course, the number one rival that we have, South Florida, just down I-4, which is actually in Tampa on Black Friday. So that's going to be at home in Orlando this year, so we're definitely looking forward to a great season of football. 7 home games this year, which is awesome. We're looking forward to it. 5 away games, and then we got some big games coming up in the future. We'll have Florida on the schedule and down the road. I think your time at UCF will have passed by that point, and then I'll probably have kids by the time the other games are even played in the 30s. So it's kind of wild how these games are even scheduled out and everything. But Divaad, I appreciate you being here, man. Anything left from you for Night Nation before we let you go?
I mean, Night Nation, let's have a great season. And trust me, Train TV Zone is going to be one to watch.
I like it. Hey, I'm excited. My TVs will be on. I'll be at as many games as possible, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I appreciate you again being here. Get back out to the facility. Get your training done. I'm excited to watch you work on the field this year, number 9, all right?
I appreciate it. Have a nice day.
For sure, man. You too. Pooj Crew, thanks for being here, man. It was awesome having you guys. Tune in for that interview. Divaad Wilson, again, thanks for being here. Transfer defensive back coming from Georgia a few years ago. Redshirt junior now, and he is in a loaded defensive backfield for the UCF Knights. So it's going to be awesome to watch how that plays out for UCF this year. And if that defense can get back to form from the 2017-2018 years, where not only was the offense scoring a lot, but the defense was doing their part in holding the opposing teams to minimum points. So, again, thanks to Divaad Wilson for jumping on the Poojie podcast. Looking forward to getting more UCF players on here. Like I mentioned earlier, we've had some in the past. More UCF content coming your way, more Jaguar content coming your way. Actually, be on the lookout for more from the preseason training camp series, from the Jags crew, And, of course, thank you to our sponsors, Cimarron Golf Club, Shores Pub Mandarin, and Strings Sports Brewery. But until next time, Pooj Crew, appreciate you for being here. Subscribe, like the video, and definitely go make this world a better place, and take care.
How can I be the man when you're the man? How can I be the man when you're the man? How can I be the man when you're the man?